Breeders' Cup 2025. Let's get an update on Future Stars Friday. We'll take a look at our recent maiden winners, also set up the stake schedule as we've got the Super Saturday coming up next week with the Champagne, the American Pharaoh, the Keeneland Futurity, the Alcibiades. And let's get an update also on Englishman, a maiden special weight winner, and Grand Mahogany, another winner recently out on the racetrack. But the big weekend of races is coming up next weekend. We've got previews of the Champagne coming your way next week. Also the Keeneland Futurity, the Frizette Stakes, the American Pharaoh, the Oak Leaf, and the Alcibiades. That's going to be opening day at Keeneland next Friday. But let's take a look at some of the winners this week. We've got Englishman, who won earlier this week at Churchill Downs. The sire is from the first crop of Maxfield. The speed figure on this one came back big, and Maxfield's had some nice runners so far. Englishman kind of taking it to him early, had the lead down the stretch, switched leads, and then powered away. What was nice about this win, it was at 7 furlongs, which is always usually a little bit of an indicator they may be able to get 2 turns. It was first time out, and the raw speed figure came back fast for Englishman. And looking at the charts, won by over 7 lengths out of post position number 7. Officially went wire to wire in this race. And look at those splits, 44 and 4, 108 and 3, 121 and 2/5 for Englishman, who picked up a Beyer speed figure of 97. The stakes races are turning up quickly, so he may have to wait for that next round of preps, but a big win for Englishman, winning first out. Now another winner was Grand Mahogany. This one is at the Horseshoe. The sire is Instagrand. He was a lightly raced runner a few years ago, won a big maiden race first time out, then was injured and off the Derby trail. But Grand Mahogany picking up this win at a mile. Speed figure wasn't that fast, but you know, we've seen some winners now come out of the Horseshoe in the most recent couple of years. A 58 Beyer speed figure, a 1 mile distance, and of course the mare is out of an Uncle Mo mare. Instagram was by Into Mischief, and they paid $130,000 for this one. But overall, the owner is OXO Equine. They owned Instagram. Grand Mahogany, we'll see where he shows up next time out after breaking that maiden by over 2 lengths. He could possibly maybe come back on the Churchill Downs Star of Tomorrow's card, along maybe with Englishman. Now, Blackout Time, a maiden special weight winner. He is being pointed for next week's Keeneland Futurity. What was nice about this win, Blackout Time winning by open lengths. Blackout Time by Not This Time out of an elusive quality mare. He improved dramatically from his first start to his second start, winning by over 9 lengths. Blackout Time trained by Ken McPeak and winning at Ellis Park second time out. He debuted at Churchill Downs in a very fast maiden special weight race, came back and won that second time out. Now, Cabourg was another recent winner. The sire is Munnings. This was at Churchill Downs. A little bit of a speedy pedigree, but I liked his stride late down the lane. Looks like he might be able to get up to a mile distance. Cabourg showing some precocity, winning early, and the sire Munnings can get some good horses up to that mile and the 16th distance. Cabourg is another one that could be going to the Churchill Downs Stars of Tomorrow card. Now, the 2-year-old figure of the week, that's going to go to Englishman. We showed his race. He picked up a 7. Of course, Ragazin speed figure of the week, that includes ground turn loss or ground saved, includes wind factors, and includes the speed of the track. It's a little bit more truer speed figure overall than a Beyer speed figure or a Brisnet speed figure. So Englishman joined some of the previous winners, and this one was a noticeable step up. Brandt had 11 in the Del Mar Futurity. The fastest one of the year was Brandt, a 6 in his maiden special weight race. Big Dom with a 10-. He could be at the Keeneland Futurity next week. It's Our Time with an 8+. He is going to the Champagne Stakes most likely next week for Tom Amos. So that's a look at the fig of the week going to Englishman. Then the stakes race schedule next week. We've got the Alcibiades on Friday. Big day on Saturday, the Frizette, the Champagne, Keeneland Futurity, American Pharaoh, and the Oak Leaf Stakes, all part of the action on that first Saturday in October, October the 4th. Of course, we've also got the fastest buyer juvenile colts. We've got Brant with a 101. Ted Noffey with a 98. Englishman joins that list with a 97 after his maiden win. It's Our Time with a 94. Boyd with a 92 after that big win, and then Brant with a 91 in the Del Mar Futurity. Christofferson, well, not sure if we'll see him next week in the American Pharoah or not, as Bob Baffert could elect to just keep the 2 runners. Now, the Keeneland Futurity, next week we've got Ewing, the winner of the Saratoga Special, Big Dom, a maiden special weight winner, Ted Noffey, the winner of the Hopeful Stakes for Todd Pletcher, Blackout Time, and Grand Mahogany. Those are some of the possible runners for the Keeneland Futurity. Then the Alcibiades, we've got the Angry Rabbit, Tommy Joe, the Spinaway Stakes winner, Aggressive Lime, Chopsticks, a stakes winner last time out at Ellis Park, and then Heaven's Bolt. Those are some of the runners being pointed for the opening day of the Alcibiades Stakes. Now, the American Pharoah, probably a small field, 5 or 6 horses, Intrepido, Brant, Desert Gate, and Boyd among some of the runners pointing for that American Pharoah Stakes. Then we've got the Zuma, another turf horse to take a look at, Hey Nene. He could be pointing for the Zuma Beach. Of course, he won that Del Mar Juvenile Turf. That was on the turf. The Zuma Beach, a lot of times the runner out of this race goes straight to that Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. So Hey Nene winning the Del Mar Juvenile Turf could be pointing for the Zuma Beach. The nominations are out for that one. And then, of course, Carol Buono, 4th in the Del Mar debut, but got some France form before that, 4 races over in Europe. I think we'll see Carol Buono in that Zuma Beach Stakes race next week, as I think usually we get a big field in that Zuma Beach, 7, 8, 9 horses on the turf course. Then Brave Deb, let's look at that maiden special weight win. The sire is Authentic. Possibility we could see this one in the Surfer Girl Stakes, but Brave Deb opened up and then held off for the victory. The sire being Authentic, and I think he could get some turf runners, even though he was a good dirt runner overall. His first crop was a 3-year-old this year. He did have some runners early on this spring, but none of them really developed this summer. Brave Deb winning first time out a maiden special weight race at Del Mar. Now the Champagne Stakes, we could have It's Our Time, Golden Toronado, Hero Declared, Emphasis, Belgian, and possibly Cabourg. The Frizette Stakes, Carmel Coast, and 5 bars, possibly pointing. And, of course, the Win and You're In races on Future Stars Friday. We've got the Juvenile Fillies on the dirt, then the 3 turf races, Juvenile Turf Sprint, and the Juvenile Turf Fillies. Like, share, and subscribe. Share this video with your horse racing friends. Who are some of the maidens you're looking at? What did you think of some of those wins this week? We've got Englishman. What about the Zuma Beach? And then the Keeneland Futurity. Who are some of the runners you're looking forward to there? The Breeders' Cup Prospectus comes out first week in November. Sign up below to get notified first when that comes out, Breeders' Cup week. The Breeders' Cup Classic update is up. Make sure to watch that. Breeders' Cup Distaff update is up as well. And remember, D. Wayne Lucas always says, people have opinions, horses have the facts.